Welcome back to episode 3 of the Titanium Entertainment Show. This week we're going to be talking about movie news, trailers, tag, and Incredibles 2. Thank you for letting me solo right
Yeah,
there.
I just gave it to you.
I
then.
knew
was like,
you
I'm
were
not
going to as
jumping
well.
in.
Like, as soon as I went, I'm like, he's going to leave me in the dark here.
Yeah, no. I
Welcome
couldn't
back.
jump in on that.
Welcome back. I'm Alex.
I'm Jimmy.
And no Nick this week.
No Nick, he's
It
gone.
took us 3 weeks to get rid of him. And hopefully never comes back. And
Yeah.
if listeners get really insulted right now as we're
Yeah,
speaking.
Nick, he's probably watching this for the 4th time right now. We hate you. We don't want you back.
He's our biggest fan.
Yeah.
No, this week he's got some school shit to do and he couldn't make it. And we pretty much decided, because there's 3 of us, even if someone cannot make it, we'll do a show. Because then at least we're getting some consistency
Dedication.
going. And especially the third week in, it'll be a bit of a shit effort to miss a show already. But this was a bit of a slow week for movie news and trailers, which is going to be a bit shit. But obviously Incredibles being the big one, which we'll talk about later. But the trailers that dropped, not many.
Yeah, absolutely nothing this week.
We got literally news about a few trailers maybe coming out soon. We got Creed meant to be dropping tomorrow, so probably today when we're releasing this video. As well as I think
that's official. I think Sylvester Stallone's Twitter had tomorrow. Trailer.
Okay, awesome. And then I think Aquaman said they're going to release a trailer as well, not too far away.
Nice.
And the only other one was like Father.
Yeah,
which
Like Father. Weird movie. Can't tell what it is really from that trailer.
It's a
Netflix made
comedy
movie.
drama kind of thing.
It doesn't seem very comedic though from it. Like it's got like one joke in the trailer that's not that funny.
Well, it's got Seth Rogen, so you assume it's going to have comedy.
True.
But it's Kristen Bell and Kelsey Grammer, and they're the father and daughter duo. And that movie's there. So
not gonna lie, it doesn't look that good.
No, it doesn't. And I was a bit disappointed because I saw Paul W. Dans in the trailer. I was like, oh, he gonna write this film? And no, he's not. So I'm kind of disappointed. Probably won't watch it because it's Netflix as well. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah. Huge
Huge news coming in the movie TV world, though. Big news.
The best news.
Lucifer has been renewed for season 4 by Netflix.
Technically picked up.
I mean, yeah.
Another douchebag call out. That's my new go-to.
It's technically a renewal of season 4.
Yeah.
Bang.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, they got picked up by Netflix because they heard us, they heard our podcast, they heard us cry, and
People.
Like, these guys wanted. And no, the fans were phenomenal.
They had a lot on Twitter.
They were heated, and it's not a bad show at all. You can say I don't like it, I don't mind, it's not my thing. It's a good damn show, and you're fucking stupid for cancelling it, Fox, and I hope you suck a dick. But it's one of the only shows that all 3 of us watch. Obviously Nick being the third. Which is obviously cool that it continues.
Yeah.
And one of my favourite shows, if not my favourite show, currently on TV. So I was very happy with this news.
Yeah, it's up there. I'd say top 3 for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it will be interesting to see what they do with it. If they do the, go to Netflix all at once a year, or if they go with a traditional route, because it is a show that was made in a traditional manner, not a show that was made for Netflix or picked up 10 years after it got cancelled or anything of that manner. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah. I think I'd like them to keep the weekly format just because it's that type of show that kind of works better, I feel, in that sense.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people like the Netflix setting, and I can understand why, but I do like the week to week. I like waiting and, being like, oh, what's going to happen in fucking 20 weeks? I'm not, it's going to be like, oh, I can find out what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, if they drop it all at once, I feel like I'll watch it in like 3 nights and have nothing to watch.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have nothing to do for a year. It's like, I understand you like it, and you're like, oh, I like to convenience of watching it, but then you got nothing else to do for the rest of the fucking year. So, I'm happy with it. Oh, by the way, I'll quickly add in, if any background noise is happening, it is because we're recording a bit later. We're recording with my family in the next room, so that is why I'm putting that straight out there. Don't blame us.
That.
And any shitty editing is because we had to stop because of them. Because we're usually pretty good. Last week we were pretty good with flowing. We didn't have to edit. We didn't have to, no background noise or anything. So, I mean, no promises this week. We'll do our best.
I mean, this is probably the most ragtag show in the game.
Yeah, last week we had a lot. It was probably our longest show we'll ever have.
Yeah, probably.
But this is pretty much going to be on one thing, which we'll get to that thing. But this is obviously a little bit on everything. Another thing that came out, it was kind of big for the DCEU and big for fans of DC because it's the only thing that was good of the DCEU. Wonder Woman 2 got pictures released on set. Wonder Woman 1984. Chris Pine. He's
back.
He's on set. He's dressed up. So it'll be interesting. And it's not like a flashback. It's not anything you can think of because he's dressed
80s.
in the 80s. So
He's got the full tracksuit going. He's
Very
loving it.
interesting there.
I don't see how they're going to explain this though, because her whole arc in like Justice League was like, oh, and like Wonder Woman was, oh, I miss him. I wish I could have him back.
Yeah.
And he died at
Well,
that moment.
I suppose, does she ever specifically say, I want him back? He's been lost since the 40s.
Yeah, I
Because
guess. But
he could die at the end of this film again,
Yeah.
and then it'd be like it's still been 30 years.
she had the moment with Batman though, where she was like, "Thank you for bringing him back to me," and like it just seemed.
Yeah, it'd be
it seems a
interesting to
weird
see.
choice. I don't know what they're going to
I
explain.
mean, it is definitely interesting to lead, but I love Steve Trevor was a phenomenal
Yeah, no,
character
good
in that
character.
first movie.
Thing is though, is it going to kind of take away from the first film with his sacrifice meaning nothing?
Potentially, but at the same time, I don't think it takes away from the film. I think the film was
Yeah.
more than just one great moment. It was just
Yeah.
a phenomenal set. But moving. Oh, there's also Aquaman pictures that were released. Nothing really too out of the blue that wouldn't anything. It was just kind of people looking in the costumes. You went, all right, that looks fine. Nothing irregular. Walking Dead though, we don't really
Walking Dead
touch
news.
on a lot of TV. We're going to go TV twice already. But Andrew Lincoln and is it Lauren Cohen as well?
Yep, Lauren Cohen
have
as well.
confirmed they're finishing up. Is it after this season or the next season? Or
Well, it says season 9. I think Andrew Lincoln said 6 episodes into season 9 is the guess of when he'll have his last episode. So I feel like they're very certain on that. Lauren Cohen, I don't think they're sure whether they're permanently getting rid of her or a recurring, just occasionally show up here and there type of role.
All right,
Because
definitely.
she's signed on to a show on ABC is
Okay.
her thing.
That's my family yelling in the background if anyone hears that, so we're not under abuse or anything, it's alright.
are we?
And we are. We're guns ahead, this is why we do this podcast. And John Bernthal, I don't know how to fucking say his name, Shane,
Yeah, Shane.
is making his return in season 9.
Well, they're not sure yet. There's things hinting at it, and they've been seen together.
It'd be interesting. I think it might just be flashbacks
I
or
think
something.
the thing is, if he is coming back, flashbacks is the call.
That it was only just a dream, and Shane wakes him up in the hospital, and he's fine, and that's how the season ends. He's back for the finale, and then he's gonna wake up and be like, "Hey, Rick," and he's like, "What?" He's like, "No." He's like, "How long have I been out?" He's like, 6 months, and he'd be like, "Oh, well, that
Whole thing was a dream. Now it's just a
classic,
regular
only just
cop show.
dream. And then,
Just two country boys
Yeah.
solving crimes.
pretty much. And nothing too much else. We've got a few little things. A few biopics and shit going on, and Billy
which-
D.
Apparently, the Sammy Davis biopic is apparently meant to be like a big thing, like socially and things like that. Because
okay.
back in the day, like he's the one black singer essentially that made it real big.
Yeah,
part of the Rat Pack with Frank Sinatra.
Yeah,
did the
of
original
course.
Ocean's movie.
Yeah. And then Billy D. mostly rumored to be in episode 9.
Well, did you see the reasoning behind this?
No.
Apparently he's been training for something with people, changing his diet, and he's been documenting that, so the call that he could be returning for episode 9 is still very
Up in the
iffy.
air.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, I think it's something they might do because of fan outcry that he hasn't been in it yet.
yeah, fair enough.
So I think he will be, but
Yeah.
what
And
aspect,
maybe
who
because of
knows?
the reception that Lando got in
Yeah.
fucking that movie that came out, Solo.
Solo.
Could be hinting. As well as a few things on this Joker movie.
Not the
old-
Joker.
Not the one that with Jared Leto, but the like origin that apparently will
Yeah,
be Joker and Phoenix.
Joker Origin with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, that's it.
Set back in the day, I'm assuming, because it's an origin story. But
Mm.
then again, it's not connected to the DCU, so they could do whatever they want
Yeah.
with this.
And yeah, Bobby De Niro apparently
Yeah, for a supporting character, they want him.
be in there, which is interesting. And then Grandmaster Collector.
Yeah,
movie
so,
is thrown out there.
I think it's Jeff Goldblum is pitching for it. He wants it. And Benicio del Toro said he'd be into it if they went for it. Because those two are technically related in the comics. They haven't really covered it in the movies, but
okay, yeah.
they're essentially kind of cousins or brothers.
Yeah. Which that's DC. That's a MCU.
Yeah, that'd be a ridiculous movie, though.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
The
That's
two
yeah,
most over-the-top characters. there
I'm not a
is.
big fan of either character really. I don't mind them, but I'm not. I don't think I'd be excited for.
See, I really like
Collector.
both of them.
I just think they're fun side characters, and that's
Yeah.
about it. I'd definitely say I'd enjoy the Grandmaster more than the Collector.
Yeah. I mean, I doubt they'll end up going through with it, but I mean, if they did, I think it could be a lot of fun.
Potentially, yeah,
Cosmic
but I don't think I'd
aspect.
be excited too much about it. But I mean, I'm going to see it.
You'll see it anyway.
Yeah,
You'll
exactly.
pay money. You'll fucking fill the pockets of Disney and Marvel.
Exactly. I shouldn't. I should let them fucking download it. And, like, they don't need the fucking money. We had the MTV Movie Awards, and I did not watch it at all.
I didn't watch it, but I looked up thing. Black Panther won big. Got Movie of the Year. Best Superhero went to Black Panther. They got a bunch Best Ensemble or something like that. What's that sound?
That's not over Infinity War sound.
Like, movie, like best movie. Yeah, I can say. I think it's just the impact it had.
Yeah, that's the thing. People, it's more of a social statement than a better movie. I think a lot of people are. I'm not calling out Black Panther because I think it was a great movie.
Yeah.
But I think what it did socially is why everyone's going, oh, no, it's a better movie.
Yeah, I think it is a credit though the way they did it well.
I mean, yeah, I'm not. I think the movie is great, but it's not better than Infinity War.
I'd say they're on par with each other.
I don't think. I think the reason is because of a social statement. You could say that, but I don't think.
Yeah.
I think if they
see my thing with that is that I love both of them. I think Infinity War kind of got busted up because of the promotion to it, and like that's what it had all been leading to. Like,
yeah, I suppose. But
for me, I'd say they're on par with each other.
I don't agree with that at all.
Well, we agree to disagree
Fuck
then.
You. No, fuck you. You're wrong, and get out of my room.
Mate, you want to see who's got the most backing here? Playing the race card, you're racist, that's why.
Exactly. I was waiting
Nick,
for it.
sexist, you're racist.
I was waiting for
I'm the only normal one here.
That's exactly right. And then Boss Logic. We're going to talk about him
Boss
again.
Logic news every
because
week.
That's someone that we know personally. Don't really. We met him.
Nice guy.
And, he was a nice guy, but we always look at his page and shit. And a little bit of... a bit of stupidity happened at a cinema. It was in America, I assume.
I think so, yeah.
And obviously the whole Hawkeye not being Infinity War, which, I mean, don't call us out on the spoilers. It's been enough time, and it's not a huge spoiler. But he's not in the movie, so Boss Logic made a poster of all Hawkeye. He's like, no,
every character is Hawkeye.
This is what we deserve, and a cinema used that poster.
Yeah, a cinema had it up on the electronic billboard promoting the film. And that's honestly the greatest thing of all time, that no one picked up on that.
I'm hoping it was deliberate. Maybe he's like, oh, see, I can get away with this. But if that's like legit and it's like, oh, this is the poster we found, I'm just mind boggled.
You'd have to go out of your way to find that image. Like if you just looked up Infinity War picture and you found that and thought, nope, you know what, that looks right compared to all the other ones that have different characters on them.
Yeah, it's silly to say the least. But before we get into Incredibles, I'd like to talk to our sponsors. This video, no, I'm kidding. We don't have sponsors. Lol.
Yes. Still poor. Which
Exactly.
Just in the line of that, if this ever does get to the point where we have sponsors, we're cutting Nick's pay for not only being late multiple times, but also not being here today.
For sure.
So Nick as well, again, note to you, your pay's being docked.
Quick spit of names. Sponsors you'd want to sponsor this place. I'm talking...
Pornhub.
Yep. Tick.
That's honestly I don't think we need more than that.
I'd love Barista Bros, because if we can get some Barista Bros sponsorship and they send us some fucking chalky milk, I'm down.
Well, if we're just going for shit, we get sent free stuff. Can we get like a Vegemite sponsorship? Just lifetime supply of Vegemite.
I mean, I'm down. I mean, Vegemite, Pornhub, and Barista Bros.
Yeah.
3 great sponsors.
There we go.
But I'll quickly speak about Tag, because I think, we're meant to be speaking about everything we see and everything weekly, but James didn't see it, nor did Nick, so I won't speak about it long. Not intentionally a cheap plug, but it is a plug. If you want to see my full review, I'll be dropping it when this drops, the same day on Wednesday tomorrow. My full review of Tag, which would have been up earlier, but I'm lazy.
And self-promotion.
Exactly, because I am the greatest self-promoter since Vince McMahon. But he's not really self-promoter, he's just promoting.
Yeah.
But
I was going to make a joke, but I have nothing to sell for myself.
Exactly.
I have a huge cock.
Yeah, self-promotion. At least mine is true. But this movie was a lot of fun. It was just a fun comedy. Not the funniest movie of all time. Not funny. I'd say it's a above average comedy, because I think the average comedy is just kind of funny, and that's about it. It's I think I'd say if an average comedy is like 50% funny, that this is a 60% funny. It's not
so just slightly above average.
It's slightly above funny comedy. I think it's nothing like too fantastic. Doesn't get like deep into characters or anything, and I think the story's a bit of fun.
Is it a movie that I'd probably like more than you?
I think you'd. No, because the thing is, I think generally people will just laugh, and that will be the predominator of if you enjoy the movie, and I think you'll probably laugh at the same amount I did.
Okay, yeah.
It doesn't dive into the characters. It doesn't, it does a little bit, but it's not like some heart-wrenching moments or anything like that. It doesn't, it's not like a groundbreaking comedy.
It knows what
but
it is.
It's a fun movie, and I definitely recommend if you want to see a comedy, check it out at the moment because it is probably the only comedy out. So if you're looking for a fun movie, check it out. But yeah, no, it's a fun premise as well, which is good, and it has a great cast. I really enjoyed the cast, so I think it's a slightly above average comedy. If an average comedy is kind of mediocrely funny, I think it is. Again, it's not fucking the greatest, funniest movie of all time, but it does its job, makes you laugh. But it took us 15 minutes, but we're here, which I mean is good because it took us 40 minutes to get to the fucking movie last week. Eh? Incredibles 2.
Ooh,
Sorry,
yeah.
didn't take us 15 minutes. It took us 14 fucking years to get here.
Yeah.
Because apparently they don't want to release a sequel. Which I mean, fair, because Brad Bird is the director.
Yep.
And he said the reason he hadn't done it this long because he wanted to do something that is worth doing a sequel for. He wanted to make the sequel as good as the second one. Did he do that?
I think he did.
I think he did. I don't think it's not. I'd say it's not better. But
I
it
wouldn't say
definitely
better.
is close enough to be like, you're not going to be mad with this at all.
Yeah.
No.
If someone comes out of this saying, no, that was shit, you're an idiot. I hate
think
you.
anyone's going to enjoy this film and anyone gets something out of it.
Yeah.
You can definitely say it's not as good as the original, or even say it's not as close to good as the original, because I think the original is one of the best animations all time.
Yeah, it's up there.
But this is a pretty good animation.
Yeah, no, even like the way it looks, it's still got the exact same feel that the original Incredibles had, soundtrack-wise, visually. I guess that's a good thing with animation.
It feels like a direct sequel that's been released a year later, which is great. But yeah, obviously this movie is the sequel to The Incredibles, because this is just Incredibles 2. This is the first one is The Incredibles, which is, I'd say pretty much anyone can debate. I think this is the best two Pixar movies would be this and Toy Story.
Yeah, I was gonna say Toy Story. I think this is
they're the debate. I don't think many people would say anything else really comes close to Toy Story than Incredibles.
You got a lot like Cars and things like that. Weren't very
the
good.
first Cars was alright, but the second and third,
mate, the first one's a banger.
The first one's phenomenal.
I love the
like
first
Monsters
Cars.
Inc. and a few movies like that and Up and shit like that. And Pixar's phenomenal. But the first one was great, and then
it lives up to the hype.
Yeah, they bring everyone back for the second, and they literally continue straight on, directly part, which is good. And it follows the story of basically a rich guy, Winston. He has a company. I can't remember what the company's called, but it recruits the superheroes to kind of be the headliners in making superheroes legal again.
Yeah, he's essentially a PR guy.
Yeah,
just trying to put them back in the good graces.
Graces, because obviously superheroes don't get the best light, and it was illegal in Incredibles, the first Incredibles, to be a superhero. So trying to get it back, and he uses Elastigirl as his,
the smart choice.
He uses
sense.
The hot mum to to put out there.
Is she hot in universe though? Because she's kind of depicted as like the every woman, just average everyday girl.
Bullshit.
Would you fuck her?
Yes. I whispered.
You had to whisper it?
No. Yeah, no, I mean, she's smoky for an animation character.
I mean, I'm going to keep a stay back out of this one. I'm not answering.
I mean, you asked me, man. I'm not...
I posed the question. I'm not into it.
No, but, they put her as, like, the front of the fight for this, and they use her as the way to get back, and some shit comes in, and a villain called the Screen Slaver.
Dope name, I like it.
It really, I don't mind it, but it annoys me that it's not Screensaver. It's just, I know.
Well, it's the play on words.
I know, but it's too close that I keep going to say Screensaver. That's why I don't like it. If it was like Screen fucking Jonathan, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with Saver. Not much. That works with the character. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And it could have been, I think, a little bit better. I don't like that it's just, it's added now, like, slaver. Yeah. Because we're slaves for the screen is what the whole thing is. Anyway, so, shit goes down, and unfortunately, your boy Bob, Mr. Incredible, is stuck at home when he wants to be out there. Stay-at-home dad. And he's the stay-at-home dad, and he's looking after the kids. And then, shit goes down. Your dream life. Yeah, legit. Yeah, any women, holler at your boy. I will be a stay-at-home dad. I don't think they want that. I'm a 21st century man. But no, this movie was a lot of fun. It was. It truly was. And like you said before we got into the plot a little bit, it does. It does feel like a direct sequel, and it does everything. It's lighting, the action, the soundtrack, everything is the same.
I'm going to say it. Probably my favourite Pixar soundtrack. That cool, like, spy James Bond mix with
It's pretty
heroes.
good with the toys, the boob-a-doob-a-doo. I can't even do it. Randy Newman's soundtrack.
Okay,
is
Randy
so
Newman is fire, but at the same time, is that not better because we make fun of it, though?
Yeah,
or?
no. I mean, this one fits the movie phenomenally.
Yeah.
And I mean, so does Toy Story, but in a fun kind of mannerism. This is legit a nice,
You
great
got
score.
a friend in me.
You got a friend. That one way
That
too
was
deep.
like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, I reckon. That was a bit too raspy and deep.
Back on track.
But yeah, no, the soundtrack is phenomenal. Like phenomenal, great
I'd
score.
chuck that on my Spotify. I'll jam out to it.
I feel like I feel like I could do some dope shit with that on.
Yeah.
It definitely is cool. Character-wise, what did you think of the Elastigirl kind of being the front runner of the movie superhero-wise?
I mean, I like it. It mixes it up because when you think about it, really, Mr. Incredible's kind of got the most boring powers there is, and
strong.
kind of the most useless. Like, you look at like Frozone, you can do so much stuff with his powers. Elastigirl can do so much flexible things. It's like Mr. Incredible. I can punch and lift things.
I did like the sense when they did that and they like made her the front runner, but at the same time I did miss Mr. Incredible because they didn't use him as much as they did in the first movie because obviously he's the one that's kind of doing his on his own now. It's Elastigirl and she's doing it on her
My thing
own.
with that though, I don't think it would have been as funny if she had to stay at home while he was
Well,
out.
that's the kind of cliched role reversal thing they were going for. Which brings it to a point in this movie. This movie can get pretty cliche at some point. With some of the villainous stuff that's going on and you know, the stuff
it's to be expected on a kid's film.
Especially for the stuff that happens Bob wise and at home. But one thing I did like about this movie, it's intelligent and it's smart and it's not your run-of-the-mill kids movie because it definitely does appeal to the kids. Kids can go,
there's some jokes in there that only the adults will pick up on.
That's the thing. You get it, and they talk about politics, and they probably the kid might be a bit bored with that at some stages. But as you know, as we enjoy it, we can get more intelligent with the movie. But it still has the stuff for the kids, of course, with the colors and the action and the comedy.
Can we discuss something spoilerish here?
I think we'll get to that point. I definitely think I want to get into
I'll keep it a scene
point.
without it spoiler, but like the fact that this is a kids movie and there's a scene of someone just gets straight up bodied and just shot, an old man being shot in his house.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah, legit. But no, this is definitely one of the most serious Pixar movies, which I like, and that's the element I really liked about the first one, that it's legit. And even the one thing when Syndrome's out, then he's like, you know, he's kind of making a statement. He's like, "Fuck these supers, I'll make you all supers, and no one will be supers," kind of thing. And I like that. It gets something deeper than other shit that's going on, which I enjoy, and it actually makes for a great superhero movie. The comedy though, did the comedy work for you?
Yeah, I think it did.
It was
I'd say
funny.
funnier than the first one.
I think it is pretty funny. I think it definitely tries to be more funny.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely more moments where they go direct for that funny bone than the first one necessarily did.
A lot of it is kind of a slow burn humor though, with like him being a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah,
like just some of the things.
That's the comedic bit of it, I think, because it kind of sets into movie, after the second act. In the second act, so after the first act, it kind of splits up, and it's like, okay, so this is the movie. It's going to be now Elastigirl on her own, kind of fighting, and Bob at home with the kids. And I think the stuff at home with the kids is very funny. It does do a lot of cool stuff, and then Edna in there as well is a very funny scene. With Jack as well, which Jack was phenomenally good in this movie.
Show stealer. He's the baby.
Great. He was a lot of fun to watch on screen. Not only because you saw what we saw at the end of the first one, where we actually see his powers, but him just comedy-wise was actually very, very funny.
Use a baby well for comedy. That's I guess you have a lot of options with a baby with 100 superpowers in him. So
yeah, for sure. I don't want to get into this too much because I don't want to give away anything spoiler-wise. To the plot, which we will probably get into a little bit later. But what did you think of the villain Screenslaver?
It's a tough one. They had a very high bar that they had to live up to following Syndrome, who was a very complex and interesting villain. You know. Had that whole build-up.
That's the thing. It was personal. Personal. You saw Buddy, and you saw this kid become Syndrome. Obviously, you didn't say the transition, but you saw him, and he's like, "This is Syndrome now. He wants to fuck up the Incredibles." And I don't think that was there with Screenslaver. I think, as a villain, they kind of made Screenslaver like making a statement towards the whole supers, not just the Incredibles, and that's something that I don't think worked as well. I think it doesn't take away from the movie, but looking back, I was like, that villain wasn't the coolest. No, not the coolest, but the best villain. Like, there's some cool scenes with Screenslaver for sure.
Yeah, no, I like the powers. It's an interesting...
It's like, it uses like hypnotism through screens.
Yeah.
So it's some very dope scenes, very cool action scenes, and stuff they do is awesome, but...
I like the look. The look's intimidating as well.
That's the thing. I did
because Syndrome is not a intimidating looking man. He looks like a troll.
Yeah, legit.
Like the troll doll.
Well, he's trying to look like a superhero, so he can't look too villain.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, he's still a shit looking hero too.
But, the way they use Super Scooper, fucking Screenslaver, I think could have been a bit better, and the way they, addressed it and approached it, it was kind of obvious in a way.
Yeah, I think it was predictable.
For sure, and that's something that I think could take away.
I don't think predictable on which specific character, but you could kind of tell where the story was going.
Something was happening here. I'm going to sneeze. No, it's gone away. You could see there was something here, and something just didn't... It seemed too fishy, and that was obviously too obvious.
Yeah.
And I think it was a hard task, because you didn't know who Screenslaver was, and they had to try and make you not know who that was, whereas Syndrome, you're like, it's Syndrome, he's the villain, and there you go. And Screenslaver is something that you're like, what... Who is this person?
Yeah.
What do they want? Like, why are they doing these things? So it was a hard task to do, and I think it didn't fail, but it didn't. Oh yeah, no,
I wouldn't say it failed. No. I'd say it was a good villain. It's not a great villain. Yeah. It was just a good solid villain.
I think the thing is, Syndrome's kind of iconic in the animation world as a good character, and a fun character. He's kind of Scar-ish in the way of Pixar, like, you know what I mean? Like, Scar's like the big Disney villain, he's kind of the Pixar villain, because we don't get too many of those. So this movie kind of had a lot to live up to, and obviously couldn't do it all, but I think it did an alright job, not a...
I think the thing they did well, though, was go far enough away from Syndrome that it was a completely different thing. Yeah. Like, a lot of other things kind of rehash, like, it's another personal villain that's, like, hates the family and things like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it kind of could have worked in both ways, because they were very similar in these characters. Like, it was against supers, like, that's their thing.
Yeah.
And they gave kind of the personal touch they didn't give in this movie. But, I think I want to talk about as well, just on this movie was very, very close to the first one in their things, but they did it differently, which I liked.
Yeah.
Like, they follow a similar kind of style and plot and go through, but then they change a lot of things. It does make it feel fresh, but also the direct sequel, which I thought
Well, that's
was
the
awesome.
thing. It wasn't a movie you watched and thought that was unnecessary. You watched it and you thought, there's a sequel. It was good.
I don't think anyone watched this film and go, that's unnecessary. It's like, it's a great thing in a sequel.
It's a good continuation of the story.
For sure. Is there anything non-spoilers we want to talk about before? I think...
Non-spoilerish. I mean, we've pretty much covered most bases. What? Themes, villain...
Yeah, alright. I think I'll put a number right now. You can see that in your bottom left of your screen. Click to that number. Find that fucking thing on your YouTube page or your SoundCloud if you've got that going by then. Probably not. But go to that, because we will be addressing spoilers now. But we'll give you a few seconds just to make sure if you... rolling
Get out of here, you filthy animals.
To leave by now, you can't blame us. Okay,
so what do you want to do spoilers?
The reveal of Screenslaver was kind of... you could tell it was one of the two characters.
Yeah, you could tell it was the brother or the sister.
But you kind of thought it was both, so it wasn't even like, they tricked us, so... It was the sister.
Yeah, well, my call was I thought it'd be they kind of came up with the character because they went a different way to what I did think. That was the thing they changed. I thought it was going to be they created the Screenslaver to give Miss Elastigirl, character to go against so that they could promote superheroes. I thought it was all in just promotion, but then it turned out being no. One of them wanted promotion but had nothing to do, and then the other wanted no superhero laws.
So, but I mean, they did keep us liking the Winston games, which was nice.
Yeah, no, Winston's a nice guy. Shout out to your boy.
But on that par as well...
what was the sister's name?
Evelyn.
Evelyn?
Yes.
Okay.
I was surprised I got that so quickly.
I was going to say, are we sure on that?
No, 100%? Because as soon as I said, I'm like, that is it? No, I'm surprised. But as well as a thing that I actually thought was pretty cool, and I didn't want to say this in a non-spoiler topic conversation because it is... It could give the movie away, but I like that they had Elastigirl fighting against Mr. Incredible and Mr. Incredible joining Elastigirl and then Frozen, and you kind of got to see them all kind of go against each other, which I think was a nice
I was
touch.
honestly, because I wasn't sure if they were going to get all of them. I was sad when they got Frozone with the glasses,
Yeah, that
because
was a
it was
sad
it was
scene.
helping the kids get away from everyone else. Now, perfect time to mention the B Team superheroes.
All right. I think it's good to mention the non-spoilers because I don't want to give them away. They're the most ridiculous ragtag group I've ever seen, and they're so shit. Because I don't want to say because we saw the poster and they're on the poster. And I don't want to say who they are because I thought they were the villains. Honestly.
Yeah, no, I thought they were villains or like just henchmen type things. But
it's good that we're not mentioning that in the spoiler bit because that's nice. But they were ridiculous.
Reflux is the greatest hero. He looks like a human frog, and kind of his powers.
He does the throat reflux, so it gets really big. So it kind of is like Toad frog-like.
He essentially has reflux problems, but spits out lava. Was it or like a hot, gross substance?
Yeah, ridiculousness.
Yeah, some of them did have cool powers though, like Void. I really liked her portal powers. And you had the Crusher dude who can't uncrush.
And he's like, "What do you do? How do you do the when you punch someone? Can you unpunch?" And I'm like, "Yeah, solid point."
Yeah.
But it was a bit of fun. Nothing. I don't think ending wise. Obviously, you kind of assume what's going to happen. Like they ended in a way that the Incredibles ended.
Yeah, they saved the day. They have another.
It's a kids movie, and then you can't have like a fucking Infinity War ending or some shit.
I do like that the ending was very similar though. At the very end to them putting on the masks, and then the same credit exit as well.
Yeah,
it's very nostalgic. Yeah, even though I watched the movie the day before we saw it again, but
yeah. It was a lot of fun, this movie, for sure. I think, is there anything else we want to talk about spoiler-wise before we get back in and round up the review?
I mean, is there much? We kind of spoiled most of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's much, and it doesn't, you can't, I suppose that's it.
I'd say that's good.
So, you guys can come back in now. That's what we're doing. I'm giving you a few seconds to come back in. This is where you guys will be back. If you did not... didn't listen to the spoiler part of the video or the podcast. But in the end, I think this movie was a great sequel. It was a good movie that stood next to the second one. It had a phenomenal score. The animation was great. Great action scenes. Very funny to watch.
Yeah.
A lot of good shit was in this movie.
My one thing, I don't know, this is kind of spoilery, but also not because it's not integral. The whole Underminer arc that didn't get resolved.
I suppose, because they kind of... They do
because people know Underminer's not the villain in this movie. It's shown that he's not. So
he's in the first fight, but then he kind of
it opens up,
goes back to him,
kind of where the last one picks off. A little bit different, but essentially the same spot, and then it's kind of just forgotten. Is one thing I guess I just remembered that on the spot. That's not a problem with it, but I would have liked to see.
I didn't even think about it until you said it afterwards. I was like, oh yeah, true.
That's what I mean. It's kind of not integral to the story, so you forget about it. But it is a small thing that.
Yeah, but are you on agreement? So you liked everything on that page that I did?
I'd say everything was good.
Nice nostalgic feeling as well.
Yeah, nostalgic. No forced humor. I don't think it was all natural,
it all kind of flowed
fun.
Forward. And there was never a moment where you're like, was I meant to laugh? And you didn't. It was good, which I really liked.
Jack, show stealer of the film.
Legit, he was phenomenal. Dash was great again. Frozone's Frozone. You're gonna love him. And they do a bit more Frozone-ish stuff than we saw in the first one. Yeah, a bit more than the first one. Great.
Not too much more, but enough to keep you satisfied.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing I wanted was more honey. Because this scene was shorter than the last honey scene. I was expecting them to, play on that because it was such a big thing.
No, they didn't really. They kind of left that. That's about it, I suppose. We can kind of wrap it up there. I definitely think you guys would recommend going and see it. It's great for the whole family because adults can really enjoy it as well as kids, which is a great thing for.
Well, it's been so long since the first one that I feel like people are taking kids and being like, oh, I remember this from back in the day.
Which is great because now a lot of people in their 20s and shit.
Yeah, because we saw this cinemas when we were about 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6. It came out when we were, by the end of the year, it would have been 6. I don't know how early it came out in the year or late, but we would have been 5 or 6.
Yeah, really.
So, it's nice to see it.
Jeez, makes you feel old, doesn't it?
The 14 years ago, so it's nice to see it back.
Was the 14-year wait worth it?
I mean, it was pretty fucking good.
I'd say it was worth it.
It should have been a long time ago, but it wasn't. We didn't wait for a shit movie, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's about... I think we can wrap it up. We haven't gone too long. I think we've only gone... I want to say about just over half an hour, which is not as long.
Yeah.
Nearly...
I mean, I feel like if people have been watching continuously, they're probably happy that this is a lot shorter than last week, which went way longer than it should have.
Way too long. We talked about wait. We talked about shit for 40 minutes before we got into the Ocean's 8 bit, and then another 40 minutes on the Ocean's 8 bit. So
we're still working out our time.
We're getting there. I think half an hour to an hour is probably our where we want to live, and I'm with being a short episode as well because Nick's not here, so we don't have a third perspective to talk about.
Well, with Nick not being here, time goes down, quality goes up.
Bingo. Got him. Also, I'd like to reference last week's episode name because I think that's what we're gonna do. Gonna name it something, and then next week we'll let you know because we name it after the episode because we don't know what we're talking about. The "Don't run a con in a con" is a play on words because it's "Don't run a job in a job" is a quote from the Ocean's movie.
Yeah.
And because we're in a Comic-Con, and then we also watched a movie about con artists and heists and shit.
Yeah.
Don't run a con in a con.
Confusing name. I wasn't down for the name, but you and Nick were, so I'll let you have it.
Nice.
I didn't like the name, but
well, you should have said
too
something.
late now.
Like it. Well, you're fucked. I'm going to name it every week without telling you now because you don't even speak up. Fuck you. You deserve that name.
I mean, 2 against 3. We're a democracy here.
No, because Nick liked the heist and cons thing, and I think you were alright with it, and I said no.
No, I didn't like that one either.
Oh, okay, that's right.
I was on the advocate if I didn't like any of the suggestions.
Well, that was fine. We're not here to fucking negate the name of the video. We could have thought of something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not unhappy with it. I was just saying I feel like we could have done better.
I feel like we couldn't because we were on that name for a very long time and no one did it.
Yeah.
And we got to a shitty
I mean,
name.
I was watching the footy when you were thinking of it. I was just in another zone.
We literally had a whole day to think about it and we didn't do shit. So.
I didn't think about it, just to clarify.
I know, because that's why I don't care that you fucking don't like it because you didn't give any suggestion whatsoever in that name comment. But we do know what this name is. For this episode because I've negated.
Do I like it?
I don't. You better, otherwise you can get the fuck out of my fucking podcast and never come back. And I say my podcast. This is my podcast now because you're gone and Nick's gone. It is my podcast. It's a solo man.
Was Nick not coming back now? We're kicking him out.
We kicked him out of the start of the episode because we told him to fuck up.
Yeah,
the quality, and you literally just stated the quality goes up and the time goes down. Bang, got him twice. That's 3 strikes you're out, Nick. Sorry, you're gone. No, but that is it. We'll wrap it up there. You can find my YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/AceDavies/shit
channel.
/go fuck yourself. You didn't do anything productive.
we got some beef this episode.
Because you're a piece of shit.
Boy.
No, yeah, find me there. Put up movie reviews, blur fucking shit, all that shit up there. Find me there. Probably found me from there. So you're welcome, James, because our only other subscribers are my subscribers. So what have you contributed to our subscribers? Nothing.
Quality content.
Nothing. But no, have you contributed to the subscriber numbers? No.
Well, I mean, if someone comes across this, they're going to be like, that Jimmy guy, such a charisma.
All right. If you subscribe from James and not from my YouTube channel or knowing us personally, please comment below and let us know.
I subscribe because of myself.
Go fuck yourself. No, that is it. I mean, we spent a few more minutes, beefing about
gibberish.
So thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week with episode 4. Jurassic World will probably be the topic because that comes out on Thursday.
Are you excited for Jurassic World?
I'm alright with it.
I'm not really. I mean, I'm kind of,
It's there. I'm gonna have. I like the first one. I can have fun with the first one, but I'm not blown away excited for a sequel. I can tell you, Incredibles was fucking 30 times exciting more than
more.
Fallen Kingdom's going to be. But we'll see what happens. Maybe it's going to be phenomenal, or maybe it can be average.
Could be.
Nearly burped then, but I like Chris Pratt, so
I like Chris Pratt. Bryce Dallas Howard's alright.
I'm excited. I mean, I didn't really like it, but then I see it in the movie. I don't mind her in the movie, so I don't know.
Yeah,
because I don't really like outside the movie. Interviews, I'm like, can you go away? I don't really like.
I haven't seen her in anything else really.
Neither. I've seen her in interviews, and I'm like, I kind of don't like you. But then in the movies, I was like, all right, you can do. You'll do for this movie.
Yeah,
should have been Jessica Chastain. She looks the same. Jessica Chastain, and who's the third redhead?
Christina Hendricks, you think?
Yes, that's the one.
I feel like Hendricks stands out for obvious reasons, though, from the other two.
2 obvious reasons.
Let's not get into it.
You're welcome. Again, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next week.
See you later.